What's up, y'all? I'm back again with part 2 of spotting common miracles. Okay, so if you kind of joined me yesterday and if you saw the picture, there was a thumbnail for the video. I had a moment, like super random but life-altering encounter with the rapper Common Sense, however you refer to him. And it wasn't because of his celebrity, but it was truly because of the timing and the message that I was able to draw from that experience. So, getting right into it. This picture here shows me, yes, still young, early 30s, but with a heart monitor. Sis was not doing well. But as is true, even still in some moments, I kind of have always struggled with the degree of perfectionism, struggled with the degree of know-it-all, and for a long time, almost kind of had a messiah complex. Like, not in that I thought I was superior to people, but that I thought I could save everyone. And that everything that I could do was something I was called to do. I'm going to say that again. I really struggled disseminating the line between what I can do and what I'm called to do. It was like December 23rd, 2022. And it was my first day with the heart monitor on. As you saw, my little tiger stripes and my little heart monitor. I breastfed both my babies yesterday. There, y'all saw my little monitor. I had to wear it because about a month earlier, I had an EKG. I had to leave work. My hands were twitching. I was hot. I felt my heart literally like beating out my chest. It was something I'd never felt before. And I knew that it probably wasn't a heart attack because I was still like aware. I didn't feel faint or anything, but I was hot. I was like anxious. I was crying and starting to almost hyperventilate because I was so afraid, honestly, of what the event meant. Like, what is wrong with me? And add a little context. At that time, my baby was 1 year. My second child was 1 year old. Well, was about to be 1 year old. I was in the role of dean of students, and if you know anything about working in the school system, it's a lot, okay? It's a lot in general, even if you just, a classroom monitor. But as a dean of students, you are the person that essentially is over managing discipline around the building. So all the behavioral incidents, all the kids cussing at the teachers, or the little girls that get in a gang fight, and all that, you over it. You got to handle it. It was a lot. It was fun. I liked it. It was very gratifying, but it was a lot. And like I said, that messiah complex didn't learn until later. I might not have been called in that season to do that job with a new baby and a 4-year-old, right? And so with that considered, I started having like these palpitations and these kind of like cardiac events that were a little alarming, feeling winded, feeling like restless and kind of anxious. But because I always have been like the proverbial strong one, the shoulder to lean on, the one to consult with, the one to pray for and with you, the one that you could go to when you needed to draw strength from someone, I've always been that girl, okay? So I couldn't even really conceptualize that I would have anxiety. Not that I would be a little anxious, but that I would have like anxiety or depression, because how? Me? Ain't no way. Like, I'm the tough one. And so I went to the doctor, had the EKG. The EKG was so abnormal that they made me stay longer to get my heart rate normal and to calm down. And then at the end of that, they diagnosed me with PVC, which is preventricular contractions. Essentially, you just having some premature heartbeats. Like, there are times where it's sporadic, it's beating out of turn, which is very scary. It feels uncomfortable because imagine like having a steady beat and then now you like your heartbeat is so pronounced, like you can actually feel it. Your heart is beating all the time, but you don't always feel it. And so the PVC struck me in that way. Like, I could literally feel the irregularities, which was very scary. In addition to that, they told me I had low magnesium, which will escalate the symptoms, or magnify rather the symptoms that I was already having with PVC. So ladies, especially my black ladies, get that vitamin D, get that magnesium checked, because that low or too high magnesium kind of assimilates the same symptoms that you would associate with some type of cardiac event or anxiety, panic attacks. They told me the last two things was that what I was experiencing was not just a palpitation, that I'd had a panic attack, and that I had anxiety. So, needless to say, I was a bucket of tears up in their doctor's office because I'm like, who are you talking about? Who? Who has anxiety and panic attacks? Because saying that I have anxiety it is telling me I am being diagnosed for a thing, right? And so, again, with that cultural side and some of the stigmas, honestly, attached to mental health or mental illness, rather, immediately my mind went to, oh, y'all trying to say I can't handle, what's on my plate. Oh, y'all trying to say I'm weak. Y'all trying to say I need some meds. Y'all like very ignorant, like, and that's something I want to address too. If you got somebody in your family, a loved one, a friend, even a foe, somebody who ain't your favorite person, please do not make light of that person's mental or emotional struggles. Please do not discount the power of how destructive the mind can really be. Like when a person is in the grips of some emotional or mental struggle, like if you can't help them, at least don't make it worse. Don't belittle them. Don't try to discount or discredit what it is that they're feeling, because it is so debilitating. Like it is so debilitating, and I will get into that, just how debilitating it was for me in later videos. But I was diagnosed with PVC, anxiety. They told me I had low magnesium and low vitamin D, so they started those meds. The magnesium definitely did help, but I still was struggling even after that with some symptoms of the anxiety because I was not yet in therapy. And so at a later time, I'm going to share a little bit about my therapy journey, how I got there, the interesting way I started therapy, how it helped me, how it impacted me. But in terms of spotting the common miracle, the miracle from this section, even though it sounds like Precious, the movie, looked like just all sad, all bad, like the common miracle in that is that there will be signs. You just have to be aware and willing to accept what the signs are telling you. So in that season, I was not aware, and I was not ready to accept what the signs that my body was telling me. But think about that in your own life, in your own journey. If you've ever had any struggles with your mental wellness, or if you are currently having struggles, or if you know someone who's in a similar situation, there will be signs. There are often signs, even if they're very minute. And that's honestly a common miracle. Like, we as people, we move so much, we do intervention on his behalf. When he gives you little signs, when he orchestrates it, that your body or that your job or that something in your family or even the world around you kind of gives you a signal that, you might need to take a closer look. You might need to slow it on down. And so, I just want to share that as just my piece of wisdom and as a tool today. Be aware of the signs. Like, listen, look, watch, be observant. And when you don't have the space to do that, at least sit still. Force yourself to sit still, to get some rest, to pray, to recenter yourself enough so that you can see, so that you can hear, so that you can process the things that are going on around you. Because there will be signs when a dam is about to break. And so you'll get to hear how the dam broke for me, because I didn't listen until I was literally at the point of being willing to give up on life. Even with 2 kids and a marriage and a thriving career. Like, I was at that point. And so I'll get to how I got there and how I was saved from that moment by my super random but super life altering common encounter and what that moment affirmed for me. And if you're gonna learn that, you got to come back. You got to stick with me. As I said yesterday, if this content speaks to you, if you can relate, I'm not worried about a bunch of money or worried about reputation or being popular. I want to be a blessing. I want to be a vessel to other people. So there may be someone who can draw a relationship that it don't have a look. Like, I still looked like this in that season. I looked like this depressed. I looked like this unhappy and unsettled and confused and to a degree desiring to be numb rather than to live. So if that relates to yourself or anyone you know, please just share it. Like, I want to be a blessing to as many people as possible who need to hear that, like, it happens, but it ain't the end. It does get better, right? So if you want to hear the rest of my story, stay tuned. I'll see y'all tomorrow.